the materials that you'll be needing to create your giant grubs today. I'm going to be starting off with the most important element. I'm using an Amos air-dried white clay. I love this brand. You can find it on a lot of different websites to purchase online. And if you don't have white, you can also create the grubs and then just paint them with a titanium white number 901, let them dry, and then go on with the rest of the process. Your colors of choice today after creating the grubs would be a copper number 672. I'm also going to be using my favorite of all of my prop making colors, 925, and also a black number 999. I'm using today a sharp brand new Hua Hong number 8 brush for detailing watercolor. You're going to be needing a pair of tweezers to hold the specimen on certain elements and then create legs using them. So it has two purposes today. Also, see if you can find this at any dollar store. It is clear fingernail polish for making our grubs come to life. Everything else is in the tutorial. Making grubs. This came out as one of the more interesting things I had always wanted to do. Today I'm using a children's air clay. Basically, any type of air clay you can find. You can get this on Amazon. You can get this on different types of arts and crafts. Maybe even at a dollar store they carry this. The brand here that I'm using is called Amos, made in Korea. I love it. And today what you're going to do to make the grubs, you're going to spiral up and make some balls, different sizes for creation of the grubs. And you can make the balls up and then decide which ones go in the right proper order. So right now I have made up a few different sizes. I'll make up another one over here. And you're going to need a pair of tweezers today. I'm going to show you. So you use your largest ball first, flatten it out a little bit, flatten out another one. You kind of create like a menthos, I can't know the candy's name, shape, and put it in order here from largest in the center to smallest on the end. Boom. This stuff sticks together really well. And look at that. Once you create that little shape, make it into a slight crescent, use your tweezers now and forget about the first one, jump to the second one, grab and pull, and these will create the essential legs that you need for your grub. And once you do that, you're going to let that little guy dry. Grubs. And for this tutorial today, we'll be using our dried grubs. You can see they bounce like that, so we know that they're dried after they've been air dried for 24 hours. We're going to be using a mixture of a copper acrylic paint number 672. We're going to be using a burnt umber number 925, and for the head we're going to be using a black acrylic 999. The first thing is choose the grub of your choice that you want to work on, and let's see, I'll do this one right here. You want to paint the head of the grub black. Let's see, which would be the head? I would think this would be the head. We want to paint very carefully the front part of our insect black. Once you get this painted, you have two options. You can let this air dry, or you can put this under a hair dryer for about 15 seconds and it will dry instantly because you're working with acrylics. Look at this. Dang. Came out really well. Okay. Very carefully do this upright. You get all of your grubs, the heads are dried. I just ran it under a hairdryer for a few seconds. We are mixing up a very special slurry today. We're mixing up 1 part copper and 1 part burnt umber. And this is going to make a shiny, like, if you ever looked at a grub up close, they have like an iridescence to their backs. And with a large, soft brush, I'm using over here a number 6 watercolor, I'm just going to go right in between the grooves, leaving a bit of the white. You just want to do one pass over. There, and let that dry. I'll do another one for you. You just want the grooves. I'll do the last one. You want that color to pool in the groove. It gives our insect color and shows the size of the body. And the last part of our tutorial, we're going to be going back into our black again. And I'm mixing a little bit of our burnt umber, just enough to color any parts of their legs. That looks freaky. I want to share with you a very special element, bringing in clear fingernail polish. I had done one side already of the grub. By adding that clear fingernail polish, the head of the grub comes alive. And if I turn it over, you can see that it's dull on this side. I have to paint this side as well. You should do this to all of your grubs, because if we put them in a jar with a solution, this is going to protect them. So it brings it to life, number 1, and number 2, it protects our insect. You always want to work in a very well ventilated place when you're doing projects like this. Just coating the other half. And as you can see, I'm using my tweezers to very gently hold that down and keep that in place. And that little guy is completely coated, so let that dry. Do one side, let it dry, do the other side. So now you got these really cool grubs done. You're probably asking, okay, now what do I do with them? Well, there's so many different ways you can display your prop, and I'm going to share with you some really cool ways. The first way is go get an awesome specimen jar that looks like this. And this one has this beautiful glass ball on the top of it, and it looks very Victorian. And I love it because they put a nice specimen, a label down here that's aged. Now, if you haven't seen my tutorials on how to create aged labels, please scroll down. You'll find a link down below at how to create the specimen jar labels. And you can hot glue these little guys inside of the bottle to the bottom of the glass jar after you spray them down with a clear coat lacquer. Make sure you go to a well-ventilated place, namely outside, and coat this side and this side, the underside. Make sure they're completely coated. What this will do is it will create a waterproofing over the grubs. When you hot glue them down inside of your bottle, this is getting really creepy now. Once you hot glue these guys down inside of your bottle, they're going to look really, really cool. You could also then put water inside of here. Once they're adhesed to the bottom of the jar, water right up to here with a quarter drop of yellow food coloring, and that would create formaldehyde. This is just so weird. What do you think? Gothfully yours, Professor M.